Hi, this is Jake with MegaChess, here to show you how to set up your new hard plastic chessboard with 18-inch squares. So like I said, the board here has squares that are 18 by 18 inches. That gives you a 12-foot by 12-foot board. So first things, you're going to want to lay out your area. That gives you enough room for the board, plus a little extra space to be able to move around the edges. So let's go ahead and unpack our boxes and we'll get started. Okay, so now that we have all of our contents unpacked, let's take a look at what we have. So we should have 32 black squares, 32 white squares, and then we have our edge pieces. So we have 22 edge pieces that have the loops along the sides. We have 22 edge pieces that do not have any loops, they just have these little nubs. And then we have 2 corner pieces that have loops all along the side. They have this round top on them. So there's 2 of those. And then we have 2 edge pieces that have the curved edge and then the little nubs on the side. So now we have everything packed up. Let's go ahead and grid out our board and then we can start the assembly. Okay, so now we have the board all gridded out. And before you think I got too far ahead of you, let's go ahead and talk about how and why we set this up. So the reason I like to go ahead and lay out the pieces beforehand is so I make sure that all the tiles have the proper orientation. I can make sure that it fits my space nice and properly the way I want it to. And it makes it easier to just have it all in front of you versus having to go back and forth to grab tiles from the piles. So first, let's go to this back right corner. Take a look. So as you can see, we had the loops going down my left-hand side here and then across the bottom. And we want all the pieces to face the exact same way. So it's the loops on the left side and then the bottom. And you want the white in the back right-hand corner. It goes white, black, all the way across. And then you start the next one, black, white, across, and you just keep alternating all the way down until you get to your front left. So now that we have it all gridded out, let's take a look at how to assemble it. Okay, so now let's look at the assembly. So I'm going to start at this back white tile. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick up the black tile and just line up these little nubs into the loops and then push these nubs down into the loops. So doing this, you can either use a rubber mallet, or I happen to have this little 4-pound weight handy from the bicep curls, and you can use that to just kind of knock the pieces in. And then we'll just keep going this way. Just a real light tap will get these in, no problem. All right, so we got our first row done. So now we start right back here to the right-hand side. So now we line up the back row nubs into the loops and get those into our first row. We'll move on and line up these nubs on both squares and just keep going. All right, then we have our last square here. All right, so now we have all of our squares put together. So when it's finished, you should have your back row there is all flat. The side's all flat, and then this front side has all the loops, and then the left side right here has loops. So now we have the board together. Okay, so now let's take a look at putting these edge ramps on. So the way we line these up is the part of the board that has the loops are going to have the edge pieces that have the little nubs. So the little nubs just fit right into the loops. And then the part of the board that has the nubs on the edges, those are going to take the edge pieces with the loops. So what we do is we start just in one corner, and then we just work our way around. So I'm going to start right here in this bottom right hand corner. I just line the nubs up with the loops right here, and your edges are flush. And you take your little weight or hammer and just lightly tap them in. And then you'll see you just line your nubs up with the board and then with the loop on the neighboring edge piece. And you just keep working your way down. When you get to the end here, you'll notice the round corner piece kind of overhangs a little bit. That's so it connects to the next side. So then you just keep going the same way. All right, so now we're on the side of the board that has the little nubs, and our edge pieces have the loops. So the way we put those on, you actually just have to lift the board up a little bit, slide the loops underneath so that the nubs line up on the top of it. And then you can just tap them right in. We have our last piece. And there you have it. So now we have our board completely assembled with all the squares and edge ramps. So now we can set up our chess pieces for gameplay. If you need any help setting up your chess pieces, make sure to check out our how to set up your chessboard video guide. And if you have any more questions on your board assembly, please feel free to reach out to us at MegaChess.